What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon and welcome back to Simple Japan. For those who watched the previous 2 episodes, you will know that Sarah and I went to Shibuya and had a massive day, and we visited more stores than some people can count. This is now 5 episodes in and we're still only on day 2. So coming up in this episode, we go from Shibuya to Harajuku and we stop at some pretty cool shops along the way. I set a challenge for myself for this trip. Plus, I head back to Akihabara at night in the search for more cool stores, play a game of Street Fighter to see if I've still got it, and I have 30 minutes to go up 8 levels of toys in the AmiAmi Tower on the hunt for action figures. If you guys are new to this series, I do have a playlist in the description below as well, so if you're only just jumping on now, you can hit on that playlist and start from the start of this trip. And before we start, if you guys collect comic books, trading cards, physical media and records, check out Defender Hobby Supplies. They're available at Collectors Hub, and you can get 10% off at Collectors Hub when you use my affiliate link in the video description along with the discount code. This is Simple Japan, episode 5. Quick shout out to my Minions. Your support means the world, and if you want exclusive members only videos and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more. But always remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos. Alright, so from Shibuya, we went for a nice little stroll down to Harajuku and ran into some pretty cool stores along the way, like Toy Sapiens here. You know I had to check out this place, and I was pleasantly surprised. So any viewers watching right now who collect Hot Toys, you are in for an absolute treat. I was actually really surprised by their selection of IPs like the Simpsons there. They even had a DC section, and I have mentioned so far in this vlog, you find Marvel at a lot of places. DC was a little bit harder to come by, but they did have a DC section. You gotta love that. They got some beautiful statues here, a Sideshow Catwoman there. That's a Harley Quinn by Jenny Frison. Lots of cool stuff, and they also had all the DC Multiverse figures that you can get back home. And of course, their displays were on point. They had these cute Ewoks, which I don't think I've ever seen them back home. And as I've already teased, they had this epic Hot Toys section. In fact, Hot Toys were in a lot of the toy shops. I was actually impressed how many toy shops had Hot Toys as just a standard line. But they had everything you could think of, every IP, they had it in Hot Toys form. Now, I've never paid too much attention to Hot Toys because it's always been out of my realm of collecting. Hot Toys are super expensive. They're a premium price, but of course they are a premium product. If you've actually never held a Hot Toys in your hand, they're actually quite amazing. Early on in my channel, my friend Sean from Zars Collectibles and Comics, before he had a channel, he used to watch my channel and he offered me to unbox his Hot Toys. He'd have brand new Hot Toys he would buy and he would let me unbox them. It was an absolute privilege, and I got to experience firsthand how good Hot Toys are. These look like statues for those who don't know, but they're actually action figures that fully articulate. Like the most premium action figures you can get. Unlike this Spidey here who is stuck in the same position always. That's why I always prefer action figures than statues. I used to be a statue guy, but once I started unboxing action figures and putting them in different poses, I fell in love with them. So we were done at Toy Sapien. We were on a mission to a specific shop, but we kept running into super cool things. We didn't even have time to stop for some of them. Like, I don't know what this was. I think it looked like a Chainsaw Man exhibition of some type. We kind of just walked past it. We sort of wanted to go in, but we were in a bit of a hurry. And then a store we definitely want to go into was Pop Mart because I want to see how happy it made Sarah. Unfortunately, see those guys at the door? They're checking for your winning raffle tickets. Again, if you didn't see the last couple of episodes, in Japan, to even shop in Pop Mart, to even walk through the doors, you have to win a raffle. That's how crazy it is at Pop Mart. So unfortunately, we still didn't get a chance for Sarah to visit a Pop Mart. We even ran into some celebrities on this walk. See that dude there with all the dogs? No, it's not the dog whisperer, but he might be some type of dog whisperer. Apparently this dude is famous on TikTok. Sarah recognized him instantly, and obviously you can see he's very popular amongst the people on the streets. So the sun was starting to come down and Harajuku was starting to come alive. And the reason we were in a hurry was because we still hadn't had dinner. We wanted to get to the shop to have a look. Sarah was very exhausted from such a huge day. And before we went on this trip, Sarah and I put together a list of shops that we want to visit. And this next shop was on that list. So we really want to get to a lot of the shops on that list. And this next shop is really not as exciting as I'm building it up to be. But stick with me because the longer this video goes, the cooler the places get. So, earlier in the day, we were at the Parco shopping center and we went to Caseify to look at the phone cases. The reason I didn't commit to buy anything because I also wanted to check out this place that Sarah told me about called Case Space. And as you can see, for a shop that only sells phone cases, it was popping off inside. And I've always loved the idea of having a cool phone case, but I've always been the type of person who bought a cheap one as a temporary solution and then never ending up buying a cool phone case. And this was Sarah's idea when I bought my new iPhone 17 Pro Max, that I should buy a case while I'm up in Japan to be a cool little souvenir and memory to bring back. And I think that's a great idea because everybody's got an iPhone, right? So if you get a cool personalized case that kind of suits your style and vibe, then it really is your way to kind of express yourself and make your phone a little bit more, unique to you. So anyway, that was Case Space. There were some cool designs, but nothing that really stood out that made me have to get it right there and then. So I actually didn't grab anything. So after Case Space, Sarah was pretty spent and wanted to kind of head back to the hotel, but we were still yet to eat dinner. Now, something I haven't told you guys yet. We're up to episode 5 already, but we're still only on day 2. I want to set a challenge to myself to eat a bowl of ramen every day in Japan. So this was our bowl from day 1 and it was very delicious, and on day 2 in Harajuku, this was the spot where we had our second bowl of ramen, and this is it right here. You know that is good stuff. So after dinner, it was time to head back to the hotel, but as you can see, nighttime had begun in Harajuku and it was absolutely beautiful. And on the way to the train station, we got distracted a lot. Like, this is a pig cafe. Can you guys see that? It's a cute little pig. So we didn't know at the time, but this would actually be our only visit to Harajuku for this entire trip. I wish we had more time to revisit because it was absolutely beautiful at night. This was just us walking to the station, and the streets at night are just mesmerizing. And then I ran into a real distraction. Check it out, it's Ryu, and he's shooting a giant capsule. And if you followed the capsule, it led you here to Capsule Lab. And at first, I didn't know what Capsule Lab was, but when I walked inside, it all made sense. It was a multi-level Capsule Lab, wall-to-wall gacha machines, and they had Street Fighter promotion everywhere. So I knew there had to be some Street Fighter gachas, and of course there was, and I put my money in and I had no idea what I was doing wrong. Check it easy out. Street Fighter tote bag, got little Street Fighter stands. I don't know what I want. Street Fighter keyring. Which one do I go? What? What did I do wrong? I'll try a different one this time. Maybe this one will work. Am I breaking these things? Is that what's going on? So after getting rolled by 2 machines, I gave my money to Sarah and I got one of these stands. Whatever, that was Capsule Lab. We had a bit of fun there, but it was time to head back because Sarah was running on empty. And you know what that means. I might have to turn this into its own series. Alone in Tokyo, I'm going to call it. So we had a massive day today. We went to Shibuya. We went to Shibuya, did all the Pokemon Center, Capcom store, all these cool stores there. And then we walked to Harajuku. We didn't spend too much time in Harajuku because Sarah was pretty spent by the time Yeah, so, but we went, I reckon, 9:30 till 7, I think we got back. So Sarah had a pretty good effort, but she's crashed out in the hotel and I'm out in Tokyo all by myself again. Okay, so it was a 20 to 25 minute walk to Akihabara. This was the only night I actually caught a train there. It was only one station away, and I'll tell you why a little bit later, but I was ready to hit the town and make this a night to remember. Come on, that's pretty funny, right? Alright, it took me like 5 minutes to get out of the station just then. I just got off at Akihabara station. I thought I'd train it out here, and I had no game plan, but there's a place called Electric Town, and that's where I'm going to go, because I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of lights like here, right? Whew, Electric Town, let's go. So I was in Electric City, and the first place I noticed was this Namco building. I remember Namco used to make those really cool guns for the video games. So this was a multi-level building, and I thought I'd just pop in to have a quick look. It was a multi-level arcade plus skill testing machines, claw machines and things like that. I went down to this bottom level and there wasn't really any games that really caught my eye, so I thought I'd exit and move on. There was a line out the front because there was an Ichiban Kuji. I didn't really have any specific places that I wanted to go to on this night. I just wanted to see as many collectible stores as I could, and it was getting quite late, so I had very little time. I saw this store here called Gamers, so I thought I'd better check them out. And when I got in there, they were all books, and I was like, where are the games? There may have been some games in there, but I didn't really film any, so there may not have been, but there was plenty of books. I believe there was cards as well from memory, but I was in and out of there pretty quickly and moved on to the next place, which was a real card store called Sneaker Dunk. I wasn't sure if someone was doing a sneaky dunk or this place sold sneakers, but I didn't see a sneaker in sight, or a basketball now to think of it. But I did see plenty of trading cards, graded cards, One Piece cards, Dragon Ball cards, and of course, Pokemon cards. It's good to see that cards are doing well in Japan like they are back home. Yeah, this place is popping, like lights everywhere. Welcome to Ono Den, what's that? So Ono Den, or Onoden, was across the road and it really stood out with its bright sign, so I had to walk over and have a look. The brightness of the store really grabbed my attention, so I had to walk over and have a look. But when I got over there, they looked like they were about to close up. It was getting close to 8 o'clock, and I didn't want to be that guy who walked in just as they were closing, so I just had a little bit of a look at their statues at the front here. Now, a lot of the food places in Japan have these fake food displays at the front, and sometimes they have half-naked anime ladies standing next to them. And then I found this little hole in the wall. This really felt like one of the only shops I found which was like a hole-in-the-wall card shop. I was hoping to find more places like this because I felt like they would have more interesting stuff, or maybe stuff you wouldn't find at other places, or maybe cheaper stuff. They also had anime statues there as well, but nothing there that I really collect, so I was in and out of there pretty quickly and onto the next place. Yeah, so it seems most collectible store closed at 8 here, although I did just run into a Takeshi Nation, so maybe I can check that out. That was open late last night. Let's go in here. Yes, I called it Takeshi Nations. I kept forgetting what this place was called, so the only time I called it Tamashi Nations was when I was looking at the actual sign. Other than that, I kept forgetting the name and kept calling it Takeshi Nation, so be prepared for me to call it Takeshi Nation for a large portion of this trip. But stress not, eventually I will get it right, just like Mandarake. Did that sound better? I think so. So obviously Takeshi Nation, their retail store, opens late, I think, but then they've got like little side stores, and I think they closed at 8, so he was like standing in the door. I was like, do you close it now? And he's like, 8 o'clock, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'll go. I don't want to be that guy. So what I kind of want to do while I'm out tonight, at least, I don't want to be too late obviously, but I wouldn't mind getting a late night snack, maybe a beer. You got all these cosplay looking idol girls here. I reckon it's a scam. I'm just gonna hold out for like 15 minutes. If they're still open in 15 minutes, then, you know, I know they're meant to be open. Okay, so that's the Takeshi Nation that I was at last night. So now I know where I am. I'm going to go back this way the way I came because I haven't traveled this far into Tokyo yet. Oh no, there's the Kotobukiya store. So yeah, I've been sort of in here so far. Okay, this place here is open to 11:30. So we're going to Heroes Entertainment Yard. Let's have a look. So I didn't know what to expect from an entertainment yard, but when I got up there, it was just another arcade, but this one was definitely a lot cooler than the one I went to previously at the Namco building. Also, I thought much better than the Taito station that I stopped past on day one, because this arcade had a whole ton of retro games. Heaps of them. They had these old Astro City cabinets, I think they call them. I don't know why they're called Astro City. If anyone knows, let me know. Maybe that's the brand that make them. But I was seeing so many cool retro games there. It really brought back that nostalgia. Like Final Fight here, I spent so many hours and coins on that game back in the day when I was a kid. Because if you were growing up in the 90s, these were the places you hung out at. And you were either smoking cigarettes and trying to be cool, or getting up to no good. Or sometimes you were just playing video games. But being in here really made me feel young again, and it was only because of the selection of games. It really was the games that I grew up to, and I started to feel the itch to play some Street Fighter. So I'm going to make you sit through one fight. I thought I'd choose Ryu since we're in Japan, and it was only fitting that our first fight was in Japan against Ryu, or Ryu if you're one of those guys. Alright, so let's see if I've still got it. The king of the Jackson Court video store in East Doncaster. There I am. I'm the guy on the left who just got punched in the balls. I just blocked a fireball. Oh, I'm looking good. Oh no, I got sweeped. Oh no, I'm coming back. Oh no, I'm dizzy. I'm about to die. Ah! Oh, I swept the leg like Johnny. Oh, look at that. Takes the first round. Still got it. Oh, and it's not over yet, baby. Round 2, fight. Alright, remember, I'm the one on the left. I'm the good Ryu versus the bad Ryu with the dark gi. Oh, I'm taking a pretty early lead there. Oh, sweeping the leg. That's like my favorite move. Oh, I'm about to take the victory easily in this one. Oh, he just dragon punched me. It's getting pretty close. Oh no, it's down to the final hit. Boom! Still got it, boys and girls. So I was actually surprised how well I did. I got through at least 2 bonus stages, so I can't remember how many people I beat, but just one after the other. They were just lining up to fight me, and Guile was going, Ken, oh, did you just get your ass handed to you, Ken? I think you did. Who's next? Who's next? Chun-Li, bring it on. Oh, what happened, Chun-Li? Did you just get your ass handed to you? And then I ran into Zangief and got my ass kicked. I thought I did alright. 1 credit, I think I won 6, 7 fights maybe? And then I lost to Zangief. I knew I was going to lose to Zangief because I remember him being hard back when I was younger as well. So anyway, I think this is the top level now. We'll have a look at this and then we'll go somewhere else. So what can I say? I had a lot of fun just on that 1 credit. I can totally see why people enjoy playing retro games and playing the games that they grew up with, because yeah, it just makes you feel like a kid all over again. And that's what life is about. Well, it's about being an adult, but you know what I mean. Alright, that was a bit of fun. They also had this underground level, and I didn't go down there. I think it was a bookstore, and it was called Melon Books, and I was like, oh, I wonder what type of books they sell at Melon Books. Alright, this place is called Media World. I'm definitely going to check that out. And then right next door there's AmiAmi, which is a multi-level figure tower. So maybe we'll go there too. Ooh, food's gonna have to wait. Alright, so this is Media World, and yes, there was a lot of physical media in there, Blu-rays, DVDs, magazines, but they also had collectibles. They had anime statues, they had action figures, and some stuff that, you know, kind of surprised me. Got a cool little My Hero Academia section here. And then randomly, a Star Wars Black Series figure just chilling on its own in front of a SH Figure Arts Star Wars. And you got some Marvel Pop Mart down the bottom there, which was very cheap compared to back in Australia. but they really did have a huge selection of physical media, movies and games. They had this magazine section, which I'm sure there was plenty of melon books. They had very few PlayStation or PSP games. They did have some, so I did have a look for School Rumble for a little bit, but I mostly just flicked through these Super Famicom games. And then after that, they had a downstairs section. Now, I didn't know what was down here until I noticed the mat on the floor there. And then as soon as I got to the bottom, I turned around and realized if I film this video will get taken down. And now it's time for the main event. AmiAmi or AmiAmi, I'm not too sure, but this was my first experience of a figure tower. This was 8 levels of non-stop statues and action figures. Now, while most of the stores like this close at 8 PM, AmiAmi or AmiAmi closed at 9. But it was 8:30, so I only had 30 minutes to go up these 8 levels on the hunt for my Harley Quinn Mayfix figure and also the Street Fighter Jury figure from Revoltech. Here's some Street Fighter statues, who are a little bit raunchier than usual. There was a lot of action figures from fighting games like King of Fighters, and there was so much Street Fighter in this place. It was heaven for me. Like, they had the Kotobukiya Street Fighter statues, which are even expensive in Japan. So when you see them back home in Australia, they're even more expensive. I know Mr. Anime has them for sale. He's probably one of the few people I've seen in Australia who has them, but they were all over the place in Japan. And then there's the Jada figures. Now these figures are really what reignited my love for Street Fighter again. I'd never seen this Vega one. It hadn't released yet in Australia. I didn't buy it because I had one sitting at home at Pop Toys waiting for me. Shout out to Andrew at Pop Toys. That's where I shop back home for most of my action figures. This Cyberpunk figure is also from Jada and it's also a great looking figure. I have watched Cyberpunk, but not enough to justify buying that figure. These Final Fantasy figures were everywhere and they looked fantastic. And then I found the Revoltech section. Now, you do not see these in Australia. And if you do, you're looking at $200 to $250 per figure. They didn't have the jury that I was looking for, but it was cool to see Revoltech on the shelf. I will explain in later videos something I discovered about that jury figure, but I'll leave it for another video. But as you can see, this place had all the Street Fighter I could have asked for. And the reason I don't buy these figures is because I already collect the Jada ones. I don't need 2 brands in my collection. Got some Terry Bogard there from, says King of Fighters there, but I know him from Fatal Fury. I couldn't help but keep looking at these Mech Warrior anime girls. The figures just look so great. And they even had figures from Street Fighter 6, the latest version, and they've even got some Street Fighter 5 there next to them. As I mentioned in a previous episode, I am really just a Street Fighter 2 guy, so I don't know a lot about Street Fighter 4 or 5. And look, they had Bison named Vega, because for those who don't know, in Japan, Bison's name is Vega, and Bison is actually Balrog. So, while this place really felt like an anime store, there was just so much stuff for me that I recognized and loved. Like, you got a Mortal Kombat Shiva figure there, that looks amazing. You got these My Little Pony Kotobukiya statues, I'm pretty sure they are. And then you've also got the horror Kotobukiya statues there, which look amazing. Random Poison Ivy in the middle of them there. You got a Spider-Gwen Kotobukiya statue, which is a really hard one to find as well. And then things got serious when I found the Mayfix section, and as you can see, they got a whole bunch of the Hush figures there, including the Joker, but no signs of Harley Quinn. So yeah, what can I say about this place? There were all these awesome high-end action figures that I'd never seen before in person. I was really enjoying my time there, but my time was short. As I mentioned, there was only 30 minutes before closing time when I entered this building, so I had to get in and out pretty quickly. I did happen to stumble across this SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn here. Now this figure I've never seen in person either. It is on my eBay watch list. It was the first time seeing it in hand, which was cool. So while there was plenty of Harley Quinn figures there wasn't the Mayfix one I was chasing. And that was my time at the AmiAmi Tower. I felt like I got a lot done in just 30 minutes. I saw a lot of cool stuff. And yet again, this place has hit the top of my list so far as my favorite place I've been to while in Japan. Alright, so that was worth it. Bit of a speed run through the I didn't get through all levels. I think there was 7 or 8 levels. I think there was maybe one more, and then I just was like, they were doing the closing call, so I was like, yeah, I better go. But I'm starting to think if the figures that I'm after are just unavailable. Like, I'm on the right track though. I'm definitely seeing like things that give me hope. I did buy a figure. I bought an SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn figure that I, not one that I desperately needed, but one that I have been watching on eBay, and it was $60, and that's pretty cheap. SH Figure Arts, normally, again, if you buy them online on eBay and stuff, they're going for a minimum $120 or something like that, you know? So, yeah, $60 is a pretty good price. Happy with that. All right, so I'm just gonna go home now. I think I missed the boat on getting food. A lot of places are closing soonish. I wasn't really confident in getting food, so I'm just gonna go home and yeah, get some convenience store food, which is just as good as a restaurant, right? I did over 20,000 steps yesterday. I reckon today probably very similar. And I don't know if you guys know, but for those who tune in regularly, you'll know I had the gout flare up over a month ago now, and I was unable to walk for a little bit, and it's been a struggle since. I'm still in pain. I wouldn't say I'm in pain, but it's still sore, and yesterday really did a number on me, but you cannot stop me. I am gonna keep walking until my toe falls off. Yeah, today was a crazy day. Today, like yesterday being day one was, you know, amazing. It was like the first kind of impression, which was obviously just overwhelming. Today was way better than yesterday, just because I definitely saw a lot more stuff that I like today. Hopefully that just keeps trending and every day just gets better than the last. So yeah, anyway, that's I think I'm gonna call it for this one. Hopefully this video turned out all right, and stay tuned because there's gonna be plenty more to come from this Japan trip. This is only day 2, and I've probably released I don't know how many videos so far, so yeah, this content should keep me going for a while. Next time on Simple Japan, day 3 begins, and Sarah and I get up early in the morning to line up at a toy store for an exclusive release. We try Japanese McDonald's for the first time, and the toy hunt continues as we head to Nakano Broadway, a mecca in the world of toys and all sorts of collectibles. And again, if you guys are new to this video series and you want to catch up, there will be a playlist in the video description, so check that out if you want to see our entire trip from the beginning. And of course, if you want to show some support, give this video a like, leave a comment if you wish, and make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, I'm SimpleSimon, tell your friends, and keep it simple.